Okay, folks, let's see if we can zoom in on this a little bit. Let's go to this button, configure video. Okay, it's going to pop up this thing at the bottom, and we'll give it a little bit of zoom. Come on. You can do it. All right. I know we got to turn it this way. Should be easier to do. We got this area in here. Okay, cool. Let's turn the lights on. This place is so damn bright I can't see what's going on. Phone doesn't really need to be charging, but okay. Okay, so S model Crusaders. We got 3 of these that came in yesterday in the post, and you can build. There's 2 models on each one of them. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't know how many we're gonna get done this morning. Maybe only 1. Maybe only none. But just finished watching the unboxing. Excellent. Your merit badge is in the mail. We're going to build 1. I like doing 1 at a time because I may encounter something that the instructions are wrong on in the order you put them together. Now, you probably don't even need instructions on this thing. I'm not really going to be able to get that many done because they involve sanding and trimming and shit like that. And if you're going to do it right, let's see. Why does this, I feel like this is the wrong place? Okay. Yeah, I didn't get any of this done last night as much as I wanted to. Decided to spend time with the daughter. We were gonna watch Enemy at the Gates. I know, not that it's that great, but we decided to watch Churchill at War since we got to get in the mood for the Imperial War Museums here in about a month or so. So, I get really distracted by Churchill's depictions when it's somebody who doesn't look like him. Okay, so I just take all the damn pieces out. I'm a bit low for this. There we go. I mean, that's the right height, but you get some kind of, I had a bad LOS down there. All right, so we're going to attempt to make one of these openings on the roof open. It does not come with the commander's hatch. It's really the commander and the loader and the gunner's hatch. It's a communal hatch. That just sounds dirty. And well, I'm not going to do it on the first one. I'll have to see exactly how this works because there's actually not a hole for it. I think I want to do that, but if it becomes really difficult, then I'm not going to. Anyways, they want me to put this turret together first, so we'll follow instructions on the first one. This cardboard is to protect any kind of drippage from my glue to getting on this, because this glue ends up, there's lots of things it likes to eat. The Tamiya glue. Oh my god, I didn't say Tamiya. Oh, I did. We used to call it Tamiya for years. Before the internet. This is catching on everything. And then number 5. Number 5 is this one. Number 5 is alive. Alright, let's put this stuff together. Some people hate putting models together. I'm not one of those people. Let's just get close. I think we need to get a new one of these. We got to do some precise stuff. Yeah, the last time I ordered something from eBay and Orange Connects, they never delivered it. And I got my money back, but they never delivered it. And I'm trying to think what it was. I want to say it was a Crusader tank. I want to say it was a close support Crusader tank. Which that particular model is hard to get by. There's one guy in Hong Kong selling it, but he's wanting like $27 for it. And I'm like, I think the only thing different is there might be some different decals. And there's I think a brass barrel that comes in here for the 3-inch howitzer, but the proportion of close support Crusaders to regular Crusaders is like 1-9 or something like that. There's like 47 Crusaders or something like that in each one of these regiments, and only 4 or 5 are the close support ones. So I can get by with not having any. But I'm not sure why they're so hard to come by. Maybe they're in cahoots with Pegasus. But it also has things that are very hard to get. Hold on a second. We got some stuff in the other day in my grab bag. These little sanding sticks, but are any of them smooth enough? No, I don't. They're not very pliable. I got like a grab bag at the holiday bash. I just threw them in there. Well, that one's too fine. Here's the one I'm looking for. How does the gun compare at Chad's price? Both 2-pounders, correct? Good morning, Petros. Well, this one's shorter. I don't know if they're supposed to, if they stick out the same amount out of the barrel, but it's definitely shorter. I'm going to be, see, the 2-pounder does have a little taper, has a little fat part at the end, but I bet you every model of Matilda did not have that. Like it's not pictured on the model, and people get by with that perfectly. So I'm going to cut mine down where it needs to be, and I'm going to move on because it's not that big of a deal. But having it look like it's I don't remember what the caliber of the weapon is. It's 50 something caliber, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not more than 60. And it looks like it's an 83 caliber weapon. It's just really out of place. I don't know what's so hard about I don't know what's wrong with our bloody Matildas, but there's always seems to be an issue with them. I just need to cut this down some, and then we can sand it. Be careful. I'm trying to be careful not to mess with the beza. You can use an X-Acto knife for this. The problem is when you do it, you kind of have to do it like you're whittling. You have to pull this way. You have to pull away from it so you don't gouge into it. But we just want to get it close. And I'm gonna have to make some hard choices on these guys. Because as much as I want to make these guys for the 22nd Armored Brigade, there sure isn't a whole lot of information on the unit of on the arm of service, or whatever the colored placard with the 2 digits on it of it. So I think I'm probably going to make them for the 7th Queen's Hussars, because that's where the A13 fits in there, and that's where the A10s fit in as well. The 22nd Armored Brigade was Crusaders only. Or I could just decal them how they are there, and they don't have any arms of service markings, but that seems stupid. Okay, now perfect. And now we're going to use the top of the X-Acto knife to remove that little bit of that little mold line. And it's a beautiful barrel. Beautiful barrel. All right, we needed one more piece removed. I didn't remove it. And that is the front. I think this is a very attractive tank. I like it. It's got a whole bunch of rivets too. But I wouldn't say it's my favorite tank. I don't know what I would say what my favorite tank is. I don't think I have one. And I'm okay with that. Whoa. Feels like a Friday today, but it's not. And this is what I really hate about these little parts. They'll go and they'll put something that's attached to it, and it attaches on a part that is round, which is impossible to hold this thing straight and it not move. So the thing I've found that works the best is just put it on a piece of stickum. White tack. Well, that didn't work. It's too soft. Piece of tape might work too. It's just slippery is the problem. There we go. Seeing it isn't the problem at all. Gotcha. That's glue before it disappears. Alright. As always, we want to test fit everything and make sure everything is where it's supposed to be. Oh, well, this is a No, okay. I don't know what all these people obsessed with them. Make sure that the gun rotates. Who cares? This is not a child's toy. I don't know about my favorite tank overall, but on the German side, I really like the Panzer III. Something about the proportions. Well, did you get one of those from Coulon? Because those are definitely the best turret shape of all the Panzer IIIs. As much as I like Plastic Soldier Company, their Panzer III just, it looks wrong. The turret proportions are just wrong. It's too tall. And I agree with you. I think a Panzer III looks great. It has a good looking suspension. It has a better looking suspension than a Panzer IV. Looks like we've got the same taste in tanks, sir. Now, most tanks are attractive. Almost all of them. Even the French ones. You know? And some people would say, oh, the French tanks are ugly. No, they're not. Even them short, little, chubby, short barrel ones. A Matilda 1 is an ugly tank. A Matilda 1 is horrendous looking. It looks unfinished. A Matilda 1 looks like you took a horseshoe crab and flipped it upside down. It's that ugly. Sorry for you horseshoe crab fans, but... we should be able to close this bitch up. And then this should just pop on the front. This thing attaches without glue. That's how well these things fit. Pegasus is the same way. They say, Chinese crap. Yeah, there is Chinese crap, but it's not S model, man. This stuff is great. It's not trumpeter either. I think I'm going to attempt to make one of these commander hatches open. But I don't see like a ridge to cut. I see the front, and it's the top that it comes back. It's almost like a sunroof. It comes back up like that. And I just have to put like a false bottom. I'm worth trying. I mean, it's just too cool to have a commander in it. did get one from Kulan and plan on getting another in the next order. This one's for the Eastern Front, though. Yeah, I don't want to mix my stuff up or I'm not going to get anywhere. You know, it's not that I don't like the Eastern Front or Normandy or anything like that. It's just that if I want to get this up off the ground, I did have to put my things away. In the cabinet, and I didn't have any space to put the North Africa stuff. So I had to make a, no, now I have a North Africa shelf. That thing's going to be full in no time. Because I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'm on a bloody tear. Okay, so there is one turret down. All right, what's it want me to do next? It's want me to make a decision between a 1 and a 2. Well, I know that at least one of them will be a Crusader 1, so we'll build this one as a Crusader 1. Okay, there's the top of the hole. And the most welcome sight of all is that this bottom is one piece. That is annoying. I dislike that more than anything else. I can deal with it, but I dislike that more than anything else. More than rubber band track. I don't care about rubber band track. I mean, I prefer separate link track or like this, but I don't have a problem with rubber band track. But having a 3-piece hole or more is just annoying. That's just like, why are you torturing me like this? I can deal with it, but it's just a waste of my time. I'm made for better things. Okay. What else you want me to put on there? I don't think I can make this removable, can I? And then we can switch them on the fly? Wow, that would be great. Because I'll do that. I think I might be able to do that. Okay, well, maybe we won't glue that down. I don't have to transport these things anywhere, so. That was chipped up there, and I didn't even touch that. Yeah, the 3D prints look better than these. These don't look bad by any stretch of the imagination, but however, I can use the weld cement with this. And that I am a fan of. So I watched the Painting Panzers video that he did at lunchtime yesterday about decals, and I'm like, what am I going to learn about decals? Well, he apparently sanded some that were too thick, so I may try that with the Petting House ones, which sounds insane to sand a decal down, but what am I going to do? Ruin a Petting House decal? Who cares? I might give that a shot. Like I said, none of us have all the answers. Somebody will come up with something that you'd be like, man, I hadn't thought about that before. We don't all need to invent the wheel. Although I'm pretty sure I'm going to do all these. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do most of these Brits before I do a German one. See, I'm not curious how the Germans are going to look now. Like, I've done a few of them, and I really liked how they turned out. Yeah. He also, and I've heard people doing this, he clear coats the decals again with clear coat. And I've never done that before. Didn't feel it was necessary. I don't think that that helps in the thickened decal situation. I mean, it might if you have to sand it down, but I'll give it a shot. I'll give it on something that's easy to replace. Like we won't be trying that on a 3D printed model, for instance. All right, look at this. This should just be able to fit in here with glue without glue. But the most insane thing of all the 3D printed models was those Coulon miniatures on the Panzers, and the Panzer IIs in particular. The hitch that's on the bottom, on the back of them, is just incredible. Just absolutely incredible. I don't know if it's accurate. I'm sure it is with him, with his stuff, but he spends a long time trying to get everything right, which, you know, I can appreciate. That's good because I don't have to double check him. I'm like, this is the master. He says this is how it is. That's how it is. I don't want to sit here and, you know, and double check everybody. Now, apparently these fuel containers that were on the back of the tanks were not used in battle. They were used to transport between them, but they look good with them on there. They look really good. Let's see what this looks like. This is an annoyance. I remember this on the Panzer IIs. The only S models I built before are some Panzer IIs. I bought, I can't remember if I have 2 packs or 1 pack of them, of their 2Cs. Now what's annoying about this is, try to get most of it in the garbage. If not, the vacuum will take care of it. Is they're not necessarily attached at the high point. So sometimes they're attached on the low point or the valley of the track. So to get that smooth and to get it down the level where it needs to be is just a pain in the ass. But I don't worry about that too much because frankly it's covered up. And I don't know whether this is the right pattern track. I don't care. I'm not a track Nazi. There's other things to be picky about for me. Tracks aren't one of them. Decals of units is. Okay. British tank, sprockets go to the back. Well, if I don't need to glue it, I'm not going to glue it. Because what happens is, when it's time to paint or prime, specifically priming, I'll pull it off, prime it, and then put it back on. And you get the best of both worlds. Especially when it's snug like that. We're not building a diorama. We're building war game models that need to be flexible. Or you have to have a counter then putting on there which way the turret is pointing. And that's just silly. That's silly. Now, one thing I haven't seen, these are side skirts. I don't think I've seen a picture of a Crusader with some of the side skirts missing. You know, like Schertzen are on a Panzer IV or something like that in Normandy that either get taken off or some get removed or damaged or what have you, with some of them missing. I'll have to do a search because that'd be pretty cool. That'd make them look pretty individual, because right now what I'm staring down the barrel of a gun that says, hey, if I want to do these Crusaders for Operation Crusader, I need to make them all painted in light stone overall, and that's it. So they're all going to be painted the same, as far as I can tell. You know, they'll be weathered differently, and the drippings will be in different places, and they'll have different markings. Just a really attractive vehicle. I like Christie's suspension. It looks good. It looks good. All right. Yeah, we'll be able to finish one, maybe. It's okay. It's not a race. Now the side skirts. Those are going to have to be glued in. Why don't they have you do this at the same time that you do the turret part? Like, it goes on the bloody turret. Now, what's truly amazing is this can is all one piece. It is a solid piece. Well, it might be hollow on the inside, but that's pretty amazing. And as far as models go, these are some of the best detailed models I've seen. I mean, they can make good stuff in China if they want to. I guess it's the same thing like in the US. They can make good things in the US if they want to. And that just, using the back side of the X-Acto knife, just takes it off so nicely. Watch that on somebody on YouTube. Don't know who it is. Sorry, I forgot. Wasn't my idea. See, if you do something and you do it for the first time, and you did that without somebody else influencing you, it's your idea. Now, somebody else might have had the same idea, but it's your idea. That's why the using the hand sanitizer to clean brushes, that's my idea. Somebody else might have done it as well. They might even have had a video on it, but I didn't find out about it. This, I saw somebody did this. And unfortunately, I can't tell you who it is, because I'd sure as hell give them credit for it. I'd probably go to their channel. They probably have some other good ideas. It's not like, oh, this guy just came up with a one-off. No, they probably have some other stuff that is probably helpful. Now, this is always tricky. Okay, this goes towards the top, which means this is going to attach like so and like so. Now, this faces the top, so we need to be like here, like here. Well, I'm going to need a lot of models to work on because I'm going to be invaded by people here soon. People staying at the house and so forth. And we're going to try to get on like there's nothing different. Okay, and this little guy, well, needs to be trimmed. Nothing on the bottom, okay, and it opens like so. And there's actually a little line on the side of it, and you need to make sure to leave that on there because that's how the container opens. That's where they carry the beans and toast. I wonder if they can carry them together. They got to be away from each other. Mr. Barnes, welcome. Did the British eat beans and toast during the war, or only after they've won? Had to have eaten something better. As I like to say, if they won the war and ate beans and toast, maybe they should have thrown the whole thing. I don't think I'll be eating any of that on my UK trip. Oh. Oh, this does not give me any flexibility. That's where it is. Okay. So that little box is a little lower than the edge. I hope that's how it's supposed to be because, yep. Okay. Good. It just seemed questionable. No idea. You didn't grow up eating beans and toast? Good for you. Like I didn't grow up eating peanut butter and jelly. What an attractive vehicle. What a sexy beast. I don't care if they were unreliable. They're in the desert. It's not really exactly a fair judgment. Everything's unreliable in the desert. All right, we need the front of the driver's compartment. And I confirmed we will be driving in our own vehicle because that's the only way to get there, to Gibraltar. So hopefully it is correctly they drive on the normal side of the road because I'm gonna let my wife take the wheel if that's the case. I'm not doing that shit. That's just, I can't even do it right in video games. Love our baked beans, totally different from yours. I like all beans except I don't like American baked beans at all. So I suspect I won't like the British ones either. Nice looking indeed. Gotta run early today. Have a good one. Okay, man. I don't dislike beans, but I just don't like baked beans. American baked beans taste cheap. Like a bad combination of flavors just thrown together. And it's literally, they're the only beans I don't like. Black beans, lima beans, all the other ones are no problem with them. It's that cheap ass barbecue sauce tasting shit. I don't dislike barbecue sauce at all. It tastes cheapo. Make sure we get this right. Even though this piece does not match the little drawing here. Let's go to another one. Show me the front of this bloody thing. Okay, that little container is on that side. Okay. Now let's use our and then I'm going to make it so I could make it a Crusader 1 or a Crusader 2. Because I wouldn't have glued this anyways. If it's something that's rotatable, I'm not going to glue it in place. Because that's important. Which way it's facing is important in my game. Oh, this is interesting. It looks like it's got 2 machine guns. Does it have 2? Does it have a Bazan and Vickers? What a contraption. What's better than 1 machine gun? 2. Look at this. Just in handling this thing, I've already damaged it. Alright, so new rule. Don't follow the instructions that they tell you. I'm not putting these little headlamps on until the very end. That's why I build one of them at a time. There might be a better way to do them in order than they tell you. I'm not putting those headlamps at the end. That could have been, well, it would have just been annoying to have to fix that. Beautiful vehicle. Whoa. Whoa. Sleek. Now, let's see how this fits on here. And then the question is, am I able to, oh yeah, because what I'll do is this hole is not glued in, so I will just, it actually fits in there really well. This will be connected to here, and then we can paint all of this and then put this back over it. It makes painting it easier too. And I don't mind painting and then gluing things together as long as the glue connections are hidden. In other words, I don't want to do something that's, the glue is going to be visible, and if I get some glue on the paint, I got to repaint it. I got to touch it up, not repaint the whole thing. Things got to go really bad to repaint the whole thing, but just a touch up. Now we're gonna, as we do this, I'm pulling up, I'm pulling away from it, so that way you're not gouging this. And then we'll go with this really, really lightly. Yeah, I'll have to do a search for. I'll have to do a Crusader picture search. See if any of these had just some of these side skirts on. Might this be the other side? Why, yes, it might. Oh my goodness, these fit on here without glue. I'm telling you, these Chinese jokers can make good stuff if they want to. Okay, so we can go ahead and see, is it going to be writing on the side? It is. So we're going to glue that point there. I don't buy into the British tanks are crap. Everybody had crap tanks. Look, the British made the Matilda. Ain't nobody talking shit about Matilda. These tanks were good. They were unreliable. Well, so were the German ones in the frickin' desert. I think the biggest problem some of these tanks had was the tracks. They would throw tracks. They weren't used to the desert being so harsh. I'm sure that happened to the German ones too, although these tracks are pretty damn narrow. All right, other side. Now the A9s, yeah, A9s had no freaking armor at all. But they were fighting Italians that also didn't have any freaking armor at all. So at this point, the counter paint scheme is coming out of style. A lot of the deliveries of these Crusaders were new, so they would not have been painted in counter. And honestly, a Crusader painted in counter looks weird. It does now. So none of my Crusaders are going to be in counter. We got lots of counter stuff for other vehicles to be on. The Marmon Harrington's going to be in counter. Just like Humber Mark IIs. No Humber Mark IIs are going to be in counter. And as much as I like this later camouflage scheme with the black splotches. Oh, it's not on here. I really do like that camouflage scheme. As much as I like that, I'm going to resist doing that. Because I don't want them really to be for any of the 1942 stuff. We'll get more for. And I did get the order. I did get the decal of the bridge markers. I don't know if I don't know if they used them in the desert. I don't want to put them on there and they didn't use them. And that's how I'll leave it. And then when it's time to paint it, to get into all those road wheels, I'm just going to pop it like this. Prime both sides, probably paint both sides, and then close it up. Because the glue points are inside here. So I don't have to worry about the glue dripping on the paint job. Not that I'm that drippy, but still, things happen. Things happen sometimes without you wanting them to happen. Let's avoid that. What else do we have? We have the photo etch parts to put on there, and I will be putting them on there. I'm just not going to be putting them on this morning. That'll be the next thing that we do. Pretty good looking vehicle. I said the bad thing about it is it doesn't have the hatch. It's openable. Now, if it was openable, it is a very large area that, well, I could just put a false bottom in there and just paint it black. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I think I'm going to try it on one, but it's interesting because they don't give me a little line there. You can just like cut on the line. They've got one for the front, but they don't have one for the side, so I may or may not do that. It's just a shame it doesn't give you the option to put some guy with a beret in there. All right, folks. Well, that's it for this morning. We've got to go to the salt mines. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys on the next one with more Crusader action.